Hi everybody, welcome to a 20-something's kitchen, and before we get started, I'll throw the disclaimer, yes, we are making another oat dish. If you can't tell, I love oats, I love cooking with them, I love eating them, I love sneaking them in as much as I can, and today we're going to be making homemade granola bars. Now I know in the past I've made my homemade oat bars, and that's going to be a little different, the ones with the dump and the blueberry and all that. No. This is going to be different. This is going to be similar to what you usually find in the grocery store, like the granola bars that are usually like 12 grams of sugar per bar. No. We're going to erase that. We're going to do it homemade. We're going to do it ourselves, and we're going to create it just the way we like. Because I know me, when I go to the grocery store, if something doesn't have the flavor I like, I'm usually, naughty. I'm usually fine to just settle with a strawberry or a blueberry or a cinnamon, even though I don't want that. So the one we're making today is loaded with a lot of stuff. I'll just go ahead and run through the ingredients. So we have our cacao nibs, and this is going to be a very important part of it. Now, all of you out there who claim, well, I eat a Milky Way a day because chocolate's good for me. Lies. That Milky Way you're eating is not good for you. That chocolate bar that says 50% pure chocolate, not good for you. If you want real chocolate with no sugar added, no milk added, get your cacao nibs. We're throwing these in there. Butter, some flaxseed, and then just a granola mix I make myself. It's cranberries, golden raisins, almonds, and then shredded coconut unsweetened. Honey, cinnamon, and then we have a little thing of unsweetened applesauce, and this is great because there's no sugar added. We have our almond milk here, so you can use regular milk if you want, but I'm using almond today. Our oats, of course, the star of the show. Vanilla, a third of a banana that's good and ready to be baked, and then some oil. So we'll go ahead and get started with our wet ingredients here. I'll throw in that piece of the third banana. And then it should just kind of look like an applesauce mix. You might have a little chunks of bananas in there, and that is okay. I'm actually going to go ahead and add a pinch of salt to this. Bring out a little bit of that flavor. So next I'm going to add in the flaxseed. So I have about a teaspoon of those. Give those a dump in there. And then I'd say I have about a half a cup of my mix of the almonds, coconut, golden raisins, and cranberries. Go ahead and give that a dump. We'll mix those together. And then add our cacao nibs. And you can just eyeball how many you want in there. The thing with cacao nibs, though, do not buy these and expect them to taste like Kit Kats or Milky Way or Snickers. They're not going to. They're very bitter. They have a bitter taste. You get used to it, but know that going into it, they're not going to taste like the normal chocolate you usually have. So we'll give these a mix and make sure they're all good and together. And one thing too, you can interpret the oat mix. If you think it needs a little more because the mix looks a little too wet, you can add more. It's your discretion. So our mix is good and ready to go. It holds together really well. It's going to be a little wet, and that's what you want because we are going to bake it off. So I have the oven at 305. What I'm going to do is just grease a little pan here, and we're going to dump the oats just right in there. Here we are. So I'm going to put them in the oven at 305 for about 16 to 22 minutes. I'm just going to keep my eyes on them. You don't want the middle to be mushy anymore, so that's what you're going to be looking out for. I'll go ahead and throw them in the oven, and then I'll let them sit out and cool, and then show you guys how I wrap them up individually so that I can take them to work with me or just a snack on the weekends.